Hello guys, and we're here today with another very interesting deck. Before we're here today with some gadgets. Yes, some gadgets. This is Chain Summoning Gadget / Geargia. There's a lot of really nice things that this deck can pull off. It's a very powerful rank 4, level 8 Synchro, level 7 Synchro. It can do a lot of really nice things. The biggest problem I actually see with this deck is there's just so much that you can do with it. Like you can put in Machina and make a rank 7 part of it, but the only good rank 7 nowadays is Big Eye. And you could put in Summon a Monk. Summon a Monk is definitely not a bad idea whatsoever because he can summon out Gold Gadget and Silver Gadget and they get their effects to summon from hand. Like this deck, there's so much you can do with it. The fact that there's only a 15 card extra deck really hurts this deck because as you can see, we're running Fusion, we're running Synchros, we're running Xyz. And I mean, there's just so much that you could do. If there was more room, I'd be running Diagas or Emerald, I'd be running more offensive rank 7s, I mean rank 4s. I mean, we're not even running 101 or Castell or Dark Rebellion in this deck. And maybe some more level 7 Synchros. There's just so much that you can do with this deck. But anyways, let's go right in. We're running 1 Gemini Garnet. That means if you draw into Gemini Garnet, you have 3 dead cards in your deck. That's just it. That's the truth. You have 3 dead cards in your deck. Now, if you're afraid of having dead cards in your deck that don't have a use, then run Summon a Monk, because then if you draw into Garnet and then draw into Brilliant Fusion, but also have Summon a Monk, then you can just dinch the Brilliant Fusion and it's like, okay, I'm cool. And nothing is that bad. But we don't have that much room. Maybe once Part of Desires comes out, I might put in Summon a Monk, or I'd highly recommend it, because it wouldn't be a bad card, 2 mil. And you'd probably be running like a 45 card deck with this, and you'd probably put in more gadgets and stuff like that. Maybe run 3 of each, maybe more trick counts, just stuff like that. That's what you'd be doing. Anyways, so now for our gadget engine, Gold Gadget and Silver Gadget pretty much have the same effect when they're normal or special summoned. You get a spell summon at level 4, specifically level 4 machine type monster from your hand. So that includes any of your gadgets, including each other, and your Kakakiri Watchdog. And that's it, that's what you can summon. And it also has the effect which you never use, but hey, nonetheless, if it's destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon a level 4 gadget monster from your deck, except Silver Gadget. So, pretty much, if you summon this guy, and then summon out Green Gadget, Green Gadget's effect will activate to search out Red Gadget, but then they torrential, blow up the field, you can summon out Gold Gadget, he'll get his effect, summon out Red Gadget, and Red Gadget will search out Yellow Gadget. Now, more than likely, that won't happen. They'll probably strike him, but hey, he'll summon out Gold Gadget, and then if you have another level 4 machine type monster in your hand that isn't Gold Gadget, then you can summon out Gold Gadget. And then you can summon out that level 4 machine type monster. So it's a little bit nice security knowing that it can get around cards like Ghost Ogre, Strike, just different cards. And now for our gadgets, we have Green Gadget, Red Gadget, and Yellow Gadget. Green switches out Red, Red switches out Yellow, Yellow switches out Green. That's pretty much how it works, and that is it. Now for our extra monsters that allow us to get off more summons, we have the Trick Clown, the Kage Tokage, and Hat Tricker. Hat Tricker is great in this deck. I mean, even if you have one monster, your opponent probably has a monster, so you can summon this guy out pretty easily. So if you have like a Green Gadget and you summon it, search, and then summon a Hat Tricker, and that's definitely a very nice ability, just having a monster that can be summoned out. And then Kage Tokage, running Kage Tokage because he actually is a chain link. And that helps with chain summoning. Chain summoning is amazing. So that's one reason. You can't normal summon him, which sucks, but you can, if you have a monster that you can normal summon, he's really great. And he's searchable. That's definitely very great. He's searchable by our King of the Pharaoh Imps. And then for our Kakuri engine, we're running Watchdog, just a level 4. So that way we can use our level 4s to make our Steel Shogun. And then Strategist, which just triggers our Shogun's effects to draw. Pretty much. And then extra monsters, we just have the one ally Birdman who you can search off of Gilgigant as a level 3 tuner, which helps with making Clear Wing, or if you have Saphir Knight out, you can make Stardust. There's just so many. It's really nice having a monster that you can spell summon from your hand pretty easily. It does add back Silver Gadget and Gold Gadget to your hand, so you can reuse the same one if there's face up on the field. Maybe you activated Iron Claw or something to summon it out. So definitely. The only sad part about this is you can't return extra deck monsters. I don't know why, but you just can't return extra deck. It has to specifically hit your hand, which makes me upset, because then you could combo it pretty well with Saphir Knight and be like, I'm going to be summoning out 3 Saphir Knights. And so, yeah. And then 3 Maxi, just for more consistency. This deck doesn't have a lot of draw power whatsoever, and Maxi is definitely a very nice card to have, because This deck makes some really nice defensive fields. Like, this is what the deck does, where you make Stardust, Clearing, and then Rafflesia. And if your opponent does try to push, maybe they try to bait out your Stardust by Twin Twistering something or whatever, you make that push, and it's like, alright, I have Maxi. And it tells them that because they have no choice, if they don't push, then you just have Stardust back, you get Clearing, and you have Rafflesia Steel. So it forces your opponent to play, and you get to draw from it, which means if they do get rid of your field, you just make a comeback, and you just make, alright, make Utopia, make your Kakiris, make all your offensive monsters. And then for now our spell cards, this is where our offensive part of the deck really comes in. Instant Fusion, just being able to summon out Norden, who summons out another monster free, rank 4 free, level 7 free, level 8 Synchro, just so many good stuff. Soul Charge, just the beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. Summoning out 3-4 monsters, just making huge fields is really great. Iron Call, it's a Gospel Revival for machines, but you have to control a machine and it negates their effect, which sucks, because otherwise you could be like, oh, summon out Gold Gadget, use Gold Gadget's effect to summon out a gadget from my hand. But unfortunately, it does not work. It negates its effect, which sucks, and you have to control a machine type monster, which sometimes you do not. But for the most part, you should be, and if you're really going offensive, making a huge field, like this card is great. You can activate more than once per turn. So if you have your Gold Gadget, you summon out Kikiri Watchdog, you summon out Shogun, he'll summon out your other Watchdog, and then you activate Iron Call, summon out the Gold Gadget back, synchro up into the other one, summon out the Strategist, draw 2 cards. So it's really nice. And then Chain Summoning. Chain Summoning is definitely very, very nice. It gives you 3 normal summons that turn, but it has to be Chain Link 3 or higher to activate, which isn't that difficult actually. Chain Link 1 or Chain Link 1. So pretty much any of your gadgets will be Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Chain Link 3. If your opponent activates Max C, if your opponent activates any card effect that isn't Strike that you can chain this card to, you can chain it, and so it's pretty easy to get off. And of course, Kage Tokage is searchable, so if you don't have him in your hand, you can summon out Gadget, summon out Green, Green will search, and then you can make King of the Feral Imps to search it, and then you have it set up for next turn. And remember, the red Gadget will search the yellow, which will search the green, so you have targets to summon. It's really just really amazing being able to summon out 3 monsters summon out actually an extra 2 monsters pretty easily, because it still counts your regular normal summon as one of them. Now, I don't know if it stacks with Saphir Knight. I haven't been in that position where I have both Saphir Knight and that, because Saphir Knight says you can normal summon a monster in addition to your normal summon set, and this says you can normal summon or set up to 3 times this turn. So I think I'd rule it, you only get 3. That's how I'd rule it. But I could be wrong. Twin Twister is Twin Twister. Just get rid of back row. And don't forget that Maxi and Twin Twister are chainable cards to Green Gadget, to your gadgets, to anything that activates. So if you need to get off Chain Summoning as you Chain Link 3, you can just waste a Max C. It's worth it. Brilliant Fusion is our Foolish for our Trick Clown, and Trick Clown is so nice in this deck, honestly. Like, if you can keep him attached to a monster and just keep on summoning him every turn, or maybe just, even if you do waste him, like you use him for a Synchro Summon or something, and if you have Norden, if you can just keep on getting him to hit the field, it just makes XZ summoning so much easier with your gadgets. Because, I mean, it's just a 1-card XZ summon constantly. It's just really nice. And, of course, having the extra normal summon off of Saphir Knight helps out as well, because that means you have 1 monster, 2 monsters, 3 monsters out. And that doesn't include if you use these guys. Or summoned out Kage Tokage, or summoned out Hat Tricker. So, a lot of really ridiculous combos. And then for our back row, again, this deck I feel is very strong as a defensive. You wear your opponent out, you get rid of cards from their hand, and then you just have monsters that just happen to have more than 2,000 attack, and you can just attack the game. So Time Space Trap Hole, Bottomless, and Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare, all really good cards that can remove cards from the field or negate effects, and that just makes Rafflesia really strong against Blue Eyes. You summon out alright, it's going back to the deck. And then of course if you have Clearing, you can negate a monster effect if they summon out another ult and try to activate this effect or make some type of Synchro or XE. If you're facing Cosmos, Rafflesia can negate Dark Destroyer, can return Dark Destroyer, can banish Dark Destroyer, and make it so it doesn't get off its effect to float. Or you could just use Clearing if you can summon out Clearing. Like, it's just so nice how strong this deck can be. So that is pretty much it for the main deck. Again, you're just going to be summoning out as many monsters as you can. You need to look at what you have. Geargia can search out your tuners, it can search out your gadgets, it can search out silver and gold. That's the only way to search out silver and gold, so it can help set up for next gen, or unless you have chain summoning, in which case even more summoning can happen. So very, very strong deck. It can just make rank 4s for days. So anyways, into the extra deck. Extra normal summon. Summon out a monster from your graveyard. Just 32 beater. That's unaffected when it attacks, and it's a really good way to get rid of your Shoguns, because they do take up the field and they're not that strong after you get off the draws, after you draw cards. Leo just can't be targeted, so that's definitely very useful, and he's 31. Blow up the field and inflict damage, and is a 3000 attacker. Summon out a Kakuri, helps with your engine, keeps on summoning more monsters, is a draw engine, just really nice. Here we see 2 of our defensive cards. Stardust Dragon, he's honestly pretty great. There's just so many cards that destroy. Curaz, Dark Destroyer, Blue Eyes Alt, the Galaxy, full armor, I think, yes, Galaxy full armor, Photon Dragon. There's just so many cards that destroy, and he's just gonna be like, nope. And of course, there's also Twin Twister, MST. Could you negate Cosmojo? Yes, I think you could negate Cosmojo. There's just so many good cards that this card can just say no to. Clearing just says no to monsters, monarchs, unless they have return. Just so many good. This card just really hurts your opponent. And then of course, 1 rank 8, just no to spell cards. Pretty easy to summon out. We're using 2 of these guys, or you could use Stardust if you really had to. But saying no to spell cards, again, very defensive, very powerful, because we're trying to waste our opponent's resources. Offensive, this is it. Like, if you're going for game, you're gonna probably make this guy, because he's just a 5000 beater that your opponent can't chain cards to, so really great. And then King of the Veil Lamp, Searcher, Geargia Searcher, and then more stun, just return, banish, negate. That's its powers. So very powerful deck. I could see this deck actually topping in some tournaments, specifically after the ban list drops. Once the ban list drops, a lot of people are saying one keyboard's going to disappear. I would see no reason why it should, because it didn't win Nats. But hey, Konami's done silly things. This is a great deck. It's a very generic, it's very, like, there's just so much different stuff that you could do with this. You could run more rank 4s, you can run more synchros. Like, we're only running 1 level 7, and we have 2 level 3 tuners. You could run Black Rose in this deck, which is a great card. You could run just so many different things. This deck is extremely powerful, because there's just so many possibilities. Knowing Konami, they hate decks that have so many possibilities, so this deck is probably going to get on a adjusted ban list. I could see that happening, honestly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.